I am excited about the new car thing. I wonder what I'm gonna have to do though, to like upgrade my ride. Am I gonna be able to, like, what do you have to do to make your car cool? Do you get to, do I have to kind of just PvP and my car is gonna be good? Do I have to do like dailies? Do I have to do the raid? Like, what do we gotta do? I don't even know. Do the campaign, I guess. Car thing? Yeah, they're adding like new cars in the Undermine zone that you can customize. So you get this car, which is kind of cool, and you get to customize it. You earn different parts and different looks for it, and it can like drift and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Cruise around town, coupled with the ability to upgrade your vehicle, like it's a 2004 episode of Pimp My Ride. Anyway, a new season obviously means a refreshed set of rewards, including some of the cool...
Dude, I agree with this. I think these are some of the coolest sets we've seen so far. By the way, guys, this video, if you guys are wondering what this video is, it's the craziest PvP patch ever, What to Expect from Season 2 by Skill Capped.
Elite sets
I'll link it up.
we've ever seen. Monk players will be happy.
Dude, this is so good. It literally, look at this. You actually just look like Goku from the back. Look at that.
That they can now look like Goku thanks to this sweet new set. And of course, Death Knights have one of the coolest looking sets, which is karma for always getting nerfed in Season 1. There are also a few new tier set bonuses, Jackpot for DPS and Insurance for healers. Just like always, there are winners and losers. Affliction Warlock, for instance, seems to have one of the best 4 sets, buffing Unstable Affliction and automatically spreading it to 3 targets, while others
What? Wait, did I miss that? Hitting a jackpot increases the damage of Unstable Affliction and causes Unstable Affliction to spread to 3 targets. What the fuck? Okay.
Affliction and automatically spreading it to 3 targets, while others aren't as lucky. We are sure you have a lot of questions about best in slot gear and all the new talent.
That seems completely busted.
Because let's be honest, setting up your character every patch seems way harder than it needs to be. We're fixing this in a future update to the Skill Capped add-on, which now not only provides 2-in-1 support for PvP and PvE, but coming soon, you will be able to see BIS lists and PvP talent suggestions directly in.
Yeah, that's sick, guys. Skill Capped. The add-on is amazing if you're looking for a way to just quickly set up your UI. It's good stuff. Skill Capped has a rating guarantee. Okay, next.
The 11.1 patch also offers some brand new content for PvP for the first time in ages. The Cage of Carnage is a new map set in the Undermine zone. If we had to compare it to anything we've seen before, it's basically like Blade's Edge Arena, but squished down a bit with 2 extra pillars. Players enter the arena through a drop-down gate on opposite.
I don't actually know anything about this map, so this is actually a really good kind of refresher for me.
And are met with a slightly elevated surface, which has several ramps leading to it. And here, you can start to see the comparison to good old Blade's Edge. But unlike the Vintage Bridge map, Cage of Carnage has 2 pillars on each end of the elevated terrain, while having 2 additional pillars off to the side. If we had to take a guess, fights will probably take place on the center platform, with healers using the center pillars for LOS, as it gives them open access to most places on the map.
I don't know how I feel about this map. I don't like small maps in general. I don't.
It's not really clear whether Cage of Carnage
This seems like a really small map.
Included in the Solo Shuffle map pool, which we should mention hasn't been updated since the release of Rated Solo Shuffle back in Dragonflight. But what is perhaps more important than...
Because you play mage? Yeah, I mean, it's similar for all casters. I don't know. And healers. I don't really like these small maps.
Map is a dramatic change to crowd control. Blizzard is completely changing how crowd control works. Many CCs that break immediately on damage will now have a small damage threshold. The spells affected include Polymorph, Freezing Trap, Blind, Repentance, and more, which will no longer break immediately on damage. This is Blizzard's first attempt at a band-aid solution to a common problem, where several talents cause some spells to automatically cleave, or when classes have passives that uncontrollably deal AoE damage, both of which can make CC feel frustrating to use. On paper, this is a good thing, considering that PvPers have been complaining for quite some time that CC can feel unrewarding, resulting in some classes completely shifting their playstyles, or in other cases, the introduction of entire talents meant to prevent CC from breaking in the first place. Unfortunately, it still seems like Blizzard has some polishing to do on the new damage thresholds, since we've been seeing CC not breaking to damage when it clearly should be.
Oh my god, he's getting
all
rapid fired.
Don't worry, since Shadow Word Death is hard-coded to break CC no matter what.
Just silly FYI, you have some fake Venruki bots going around on Discord at the moment. What Discord? I mean, what can I do about that?
11.1 also introduces a bunch of changes to class design, including a few notable reworks. We will release a more detailed breakdown closer to Season 2, but for now, let's look at some highlights. Druids are getting a major redesign.
Just letting you know in case people fall for it. I mean, can you show me what you're reporting the account? Can you show me so I can let people know, I guess?
Many talents swapping positions, making it easier to pick up key defensive options, while also allowing Resto to get Skull Bash without needing to hard commit to cat form talents. Druids are also getting a new Beacon of Light style healing talent, which will be most beneficial for Resto Druids, obviously. But not all is good in the Druid world, because Cyclone will be getting its first duration nerf ever, now lasting 5 seconds down from 6. Resto Druids will now once again be able to access...
What are you guys' thoughts on Cyclone getting nerfed, by the way? Cyclone is finally getting nerfed. Going to 5 second. It's hardly a nerf. Nerf it harder. Thank God. Finally. Much needed.
Can form,
seems like people don't like Cyclone very much.
Definitely happy about. The second class to see a major rework is Hunter, with Mark seeing a monumental shift in gameplay. There's a massive list of new talents, but one of the key highlights is the fact that Marks no longer plays with a pet. Kinda. Blizzard was planning to remove pets entirely from Marks in 11.1, but backpedaled after some backlash, and now pets will be more cosmetic than anything else. In a throwback to the past, aimed shot will once again be their source of
what? Did they actually bring back pets? I hope it's entirely cosmetic. I was actually really looking forward to playing Marks Hunter and not having to deal with a pet. Truthfully.
Abilities like Master's Call are now a choice node and can be activated by a pseudo pet eagle that follows the hunter around. Oh, and since they don't technically have a real pet, Marks Hunters will now be able to use Intimidation with their eagle, which even works out of LOS for some reason. True Shot is also getting a redesign, now granting bonus crit damage instead of increasing casting speed.
The talent,
which could be interpreted as a strict nerf in PvP. Aimed Shot and Rapid Fire might now be much easier to shut down. Survival and Beastmaster are seeing less dramatic changes overall, and instead are seeing a pretty major rework to their Pack Leader hero spec, which, as we mentioned before, now grants them the iconic Hearthstone card Animal Companion as a passive, allowing them to summon Huffer, Misha, and Leok. And ironically, Leok is the best of the three, granting a juicy stacking damage buff. BM is also seeing the complete removal of Basilisk Collar, which is a big part of why it's been so OP for most of this expansion. Moving on, Disc Priest is seeing a very significant change with the complete removal of Rapture. Instead, more healing will be baked into core abilities, coupled with some big damage buff.
Rapture, losing Rapture seems so big. Rapture is so insanely good. Like, it's crazy how good it is, and I don't know what that's going to mean for Disc.
Priest is also seeing a major rework, including many quality of life improvements. When we asked Zen for his thoughts, he replied that he was excited, but reminded us that we need to wait to see healing numbers. As we've mentioned previously on this channel, Holy Priest always has the potential to be good, but needs strong HPS in order to carry. So far this expansion, the two best healers have both been ones with strong damage reduction cooldowns, while Holy is entirely reliant on healing output. Moving on, all three Shaman specs will be fundamentally changing too. Although Ellie is seeing the least tuning overall, Primordial Wave has been completely redesigned to no longer launch out AoE lava bursts, which will monumentally change the spec's win condition in Arena. Enhance is seeing a massive list of changes. Seriously, this list is huge, but the TLDR is, well, big damn. More specifically, Enhance seems to be getting more sustained damage at the cost of some burst. Blizzard is making some tweaks to the balance between builders and spenders, shifting damage from Maelstrom's spending abilities into melee attacks. Finally, in an effort to reduce button bloat, Resto Shaman is seeing the complete removal of iconic abilities, including Primordial Wave and Mana Tide Totem, which is now a passive talent baked into Healing Tide. We don't really expect Resto Shaman's relative power level to change much, especially considering the major changes happening to everyone else. On top of a bunch of class reworks, Blizzard is also completely redesigning PvP talents for the first time in ages. To cover a few highlights, Frost DKs will be getting Death's Cold Embrace.
I don't know how I feel about this talent. I kind of feel like it's gonna be good, like they're gonna be broken, but I don't know. Are you guys excited to just be a waddling DK?
Giving them even more damage at the cost of slower movement speed, turning Pillar of Frost into something that looks like a Lich King mechanic. Demon Hunters will be getting Illidan's Grasp, which...
I'm so upset about this, by the way. I learned that this talent, I've been playing a lot of Battleground Blitz, as I've been talking about, but this talent, you can literally just throw people off a cliff. So now there's going to be another thing that just throws you off cliffs in Battleground Blitz. So obnoxious.
Previously exclusive to their tank specialization, allowing them to perform a chokehold reminiscent of Darth Vader. As a part of their rework, Resto Druids will be getting a brand new tree form in lieu of the Trank immunity talent that will be gutted this patch.
Dude, I know some druids that are really excited about this one.
This new Ancient of Lore will empower healing while also providing damage reduction and CC immunity. Druids are also picking up a new PvP talent called Forest Guardian, which will make it easier to play aggressive and more rewarding to press Cyclone.
Let's say? Let me read that.
Talent called Forest Guardian, which will make it easier.
Wrath, Starfire, Cyclone, and combo point generating abilities extend the duration of your active heal or time effects by 1 second. Wow. If you actually have moments to like spam Cyclone and Wrath, you're actually just healing a bunch. That seems really good. That's a really good talent. And also when you use Star Surge, it increases your healing, your HPS. That's cool.
Easier to play aggressive and more rewarding to press Cyclone. Mark's Hunters are also getting some new tech. Sniper Shot is gone and is getting replaced by Sniper's Advantage. Meanwhile, they will have a new aspect of the Fox, allowing them to cast aimed shot while moving by using aspect of the Cheetah. Mages are getting some crazy new defensive tech in the form of Overpowered Barrier, which adds unique bonus effects to every specialization's shield, while also making them absorb more damage. Mistweaver Monks will be able to...
So this talent is a very interesting one. So the key line in this talent that a lot of people miss is that it lasts 5 seconds. So you get a super buffed barrier that absorbs more and has an effect, but it also only lasts 5 seconds. So it's going to be an option to just stop attacking the mage for 5 seconds if you want, and then the mage actually is going to entirely miss out on like the healing you get from spamming absorbs, right? Because most mages right now, they just use their Ice Barrier, Blazing Barrier, Prismatic Barrier to remove snares and just keep the healing up. So your barriers are only going to last 5 seconds, which is a huge drawback to this talent. A huge drawback to this talent. So it's just something to keep in mind. It's not as crazy as I initially thought just because of that, and I think there is going to be times where you actually just don't play it.
Specialization's shield, while also making them absorb more damage. Mistweaver Monks will be able to cast while moving again, at least temporarily, with a new PvP talent called Feather Feet, which will...
Now cast while moving during lighter than air. What? I never even knew about this one. So after you roll, you get the buff lighter than air. You can literally just run cast for 6 seconds.
Activate every time roll is pressed. Paladins are
That's
getting
crazy.
Detection tied into their bubble with a new PvP talent called Shining Revelation. A bit weird for Arena, but possibly useful in BG Blitz. Speaking of stealth, sub-rogues will no longer have Shadowy Duel, and instead every rogue spec will be getting a new defensive PvP talent option, making Feint significantly stronger. Warlock is getting some interesting new utility with Bloodstones, which is a pretty big trade-off, as it turns health...
I don't know if anyone will actually use this. Your Hellstones are replaced with Bloodstones, increasing their user's haste by 20 seconds. It seems like it could be crazy. It's a very... I guess it's good. 20% haste for 12 seconds, but losing out on the heal is pretty massive. That's nuts. No lock is going to be using that. Your whole team gets it. There could be situations where you feel like you don't need the heal and you'd rather just have the one shot.
Health stone from a heal into a mini...
It could be like a BG talent. Yeah, exactly.
Warriors are getting some pretty crazy PvP talents too, including Berserker Roar, which turns Berserker Rage into party-wide CC...
This is insane, by the way. This is such a good PvP talent. Berserker Roar. Go Berserk, removing and granting immunity to fear, sap, and incapacitate effects for 6 seconds. Also, reduce the duration of the next crowd control effect within 10 seconds by 50% of group members within 40 yards. That's crazy. It's like a war banner for your whole team.
Reduction for the next 15 seconds, which is some pretty insane tech for a comp like Ret Warrior. Arms and Fury Warriors will also have access to Dragon Charge, which is a niche replacement to Heroic Leap, acting as a gap closer and a knockback. It's too early to truly...
That's so toxic. Like, I'm telling you, that is so toxic. This talent, I promise you, is going to be problematic. I promise you. It's going to be very, very problematic.
what specs will be broken next patch, especially considering that Blizzard is making
You
changes.
give up Leap for it? I'm well aware you give up Leap, but yeah.
Changes every week to the PTR. But if you want instant access to our updated tier list, be sure to subscribe down below. Anyway, if there's one thing we're definitely not sure about yet,
Hey, it's me.
it's the whole MMR situation. Without a doubt, this has been one of the most frustrating problems
Me
with this
again.
expansion, with seasonal ratings being hundreds of points lower than they were at the start of Dragonflight. If Blizzard is listening, this is the #1 problem to solve for next patch. We know that players are motivated by a sense of progression and, of course, shiny new rewards. There is a new mount coming for Mythic Plus, but
This is a buzzkill, by the way.
shiny new rewards. There is a new mount
Look at how cool this mount was. What if this was the Glad mount? Like some variant of this mount was the Glad mount? I mean, dude. That would be sick. Or like something, you know? Like the Blitz mount or anything like that. Like this is an insanely cool mount.
coming for Mythic Plus, but nothing new for Solo Shuffle or BG Blitz just yet. We've already looked at some of the tier sets, but next season we will also have a brand new weapon illusion. And of course, an updated Gladiator mount.
That's the Glad mount, baby. Let's go. Round 2.
We're hoping more players have access to if Blizzard ever fixes MMR. But until they do, we're still offering our 400 rating gain guarantee for all skill cap members, which is a guarantee we
Perfect.
promise to deliver on, especially with our revolutionary add-on, which now includes dual support for Mythic Plus. Our add-on profiles are specifically...
Yeah, the add-on's amazing, guys. This is a great video by Skill Cap. Skill Cap honestly makes really good videos. I recommend you guys sub to them. If you like WoW content, it's cool. Good stuff. I'll link you guys a video if you want to check it out. But also the illusion. I want you guys to see the illusion one more time. This is one more thing that I wanted to point out.
We've already looked at some of the tier
Look at that weapon enchant. Okay. What color is this? This is like brown, right? It's a brown weapon enchant. Okay, brown. I just think it's worth mentioning that the last 2 weapon enchants were also brown. We've got the brown Holy Fire and the brown Bronze Infinite. And now for the 3rd time in a row, we're getting another brown PvP enchant. I'm just saying it's not that pog. Like, the PvPers like shiny crazy stuff. You know, like Primal Victory. That's a great enchant. Glorious Tyranny. That's a great enchant. Demonic Tyranny. That's a great enchant. You know, even some of the ones from last expansion. Verdant Crush, I can get on board with that. Shadow Flame, I can get on board with that. Primal Storm, I can get on board. But like, brown, brown, brown. I'm over the brown. We need something else. That's the last thing that I want to say about that. All right. It's Code Brown. Code Brown.